Today on the channel, we're back at it with another G.I. Joe Classified series unboxing, and today we head to Cobra for the Night Attack Stinger and Driver.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another G.I. Joe Classified series unboxing and review. And today, we got a vehicle, again with the Cobra Stinger and Driver. But for all your Cobra Stinger and Driver needs, head over to DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. Got to get a deal over there. And that's where I picked this one up. I think I got the last one over there, as I think they're currently sold out, but I'm sure they'll be back in stock eventually. So check it out, use the discount code, all that kind of fun stuff. And speaking of fun stuff, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And what is old is new again. We saw this vehicle not too long ago for the Joe side. Now we got to get it involved with the Cobra side. And of course, we'll do some comparisons later on in this very video. But let's check it out. Let's see what's going on. Let's see how we got the most out of our molds with this one right here. But of course, big, heavy box. I don't remember the last one being this heavy. But here we are, pretty heavy box right there. Stinger looking good, got the missiles up top. Cobra, G.I. Joe. There's the figure over there in the corner, of course, letting it all in. Get down here, Cobra Night Attack 4-wheel drive Stinger and Driver. And of course, Hasbro logo, warning, all that kind of stuff. And all kinds of stuff going on in the package here. You got that ferret jumping up into the sky. You got some missiles going off. A lot of stuff going on in the packaging right there. Number 120 in the line for those keeping track at home. You got the Driver on the side. QR code, G.I. Joe, all that kind of fun stuff back over there. And then on the back, we got kind of the breakdown of what's going on in here, what everything is. 120, once again, jibber jabber down low. Showing a few of the different features for the old Stinger right here. And let me get him out of the package, maybe. Maybe I'll get him out. Always a lot of work, as we do know as well. Got the big storage locker right here. Cobra Night Attack 4-wheel drive Stinger and Driver 120 once again. Cobra logo on there. What's going on inside of here? Oh my gosh, all kinds of stuff. There it is. Skyhook. See you later, goodbye. But we do get all the different pieces here, of course, all the effect pieces. See you later, Spider-Man style, goodbye. The little back bumper here with the peg stands on it, so we get a few things there. What do we got going on in the box here? Of course, got instructions. Everybody needs instructions. You get instructions with this. Makes sense, you know, don't put it in your mouth, don't give it to kids, all that kind of fun stuff. But a lot going on in the box here. See you later, goodbye. See you later, goodbye. What do we got? What do we got in here? Got another little piece in there. All kinds of stuff. Well, we got a lot of stuff. Baggies. I don't remember all this last time around. We got a little box full of things. Holy cow. We got the Driver, plastic prison for him. But there it is. You got the wheels inside here. Of course, got the Stinger right here. Got to put it all together. So I'm going to take this offline, get this thing put together. We'll be back talking all things Cobra Stinger. Got the Stinger out of the package, got the Stinger together. We're going to dive in, but we're going to start with the figure itself, his accessories, then we'll dive into those accessories, and of course the Stinger itself. And we're going to dive in right here. Of course, it is the Stinger Driver. A lot of reuse with this one, as you can imagine, especially in the weapons department. We're going to dive on in. Now, we do get a fire extinguisher here. Now, the Joe one was red. This one is yellow. Little pieces of difference here, but it is a fire extinguisher. Just in case you got an onboard fire, one of these missiles goes south on you. I don't know if this is going to help you out much, but for whatever reason, we do get that little fire extinguisher if you need that. Do get a holster here in red, of course, plugs onto the figure. We've seen this before. Obviously, this is reuse. This whole thing's pretty much reused for the most part, with a few twists and turns. But the Cobra officer, Cobra trooper back a couple years ago, we've seen this before. So this does slide under the side to hold some of his weapons. And speaking of his weapons, got a little pistol here, like a young Han Solo is what this looks like. Get a little pistol here, of course, if he needs it. You got a little knife. You always got to have a knife. You never know what you might need it for. Killing something on the side of the road, gutting a fish. You never know what you might need a knife for. Red handle, silver blade, looking good there. Then we do get two bigger weapons here. They both come with, it looks like, a couple of magazines here. I believe this one goes on the side. Yes, it does. And this is, of course, Insect Weekly. Yes, Weekly. Insect Weekly going on right here. You slide that into the gun. You can find out all about animals that sting, be it bees, scorpions, you name it. You never know what you might be up to with that one. Then we do get the big old weapon here. This is his big blaster rifle. Of course, once again, get a magazine you can put in here, slide it on in. I think we saw this with, it was either the officer or the Crimson Guard. I think it was the officer, though. Big heavy-duty machine gun, black right here, red on the handle, of course. Had the magazine right here. And it is Sports Illustrated for kids. I don't know why he doesn't want regular Sports Illustrated, but he's all in on Sports Illustrated for kids. That's the magazine that fits in there. So all kinds of weapons. He's ready to go. But his prime thing he needs to be able to do is keep two eyes on the road, keep those hands on the steering wheel, because he is the driver of the Stinger here. And this guy is black, so you can see through. No extra heads, anything like that. So we do get the black head sculpt here. Of course, the hood, the mask, the faceplate, all that is over the top. And then you do get his helmet. Of course, helmet just fits right on the top, much like the Cobra officer troopers we saw of the past. Looks good, gray color. Looks like it belongs a part of it, but it looks like he has a specialty, and it is driving the Stinger, of course. Big Cobra insignia right there in the chest. You got the harness over the top as well. Hole in the back, no backpack for him, but you do got the hole in the back in case you do need it. Pockets all over the vest, all black color. You got one little pocket in red. In case of emergency, that's where he keeps his icebreaker gum, if I'm not mistaken. You do get, you get some extra stuff around the back. You can put those magazines in the back here on the belt buckle, and then you can store, of course, the weapon there. You got a spot to store the knife as well. Gray suit throughout with black accents, gray accents, black forearms, black gloves, black boots, ready to go, ready to take on G.I. Joe at a moment's notice. Got the black knee pads as well. You got a little bit of butterfly, nothing to really get too excited about. Arms all the way around, bicep cuts, double jointed pinned elbows. Oh my gosh, not the pinned elbows. Hands back and forth, side to side. Got the trigger finger over here, trigger finger on this side. You do get the traditional ab crunch. You get the traditional waist. Those big old Stinger splits, if you need it. Haven't seen those since Sting won the title at Great American Bash way back in the day. Leg goes up. Look at that. He's ready for the big boot right there. Looking good. Drop down hips, as we know. Thigh cut. Double jointed pinned knees once again. Boot cut, ankles back and forth, up and down. The usual classified articulation. And like I said, getting the most out of your molds on this figure makes sense, though. It's a driver. This isn't an A-plus character. This isn't a Major Blood or a Destro. This is just a unnamed individual. You'll have part of your Cobra army, somebody to steer the Stinger, I guess, or the ship, however you want to say. You do, of course, or I should say, will he, of course, fit on a ringside collectible Mattel stand. Use discount code Kyle. Get your Mattel stand, of course, for your Stinger driver. And he fits perfectly right there. So the driver, not a lot of bells and whistles, not a lot of newness broken, but it's part of the whole package here. A little extra with the vehicle, of course. So we know that. We're going all the way back to the 3 3/4 days as well. But now we get these blast effect pieces. Once again, we've seen this kind of stuff before. I think we might even see these with the His Tank, was it? I can't even remember. It feels like it's been an eternity. Not a lot of bells and whistles here. I don't necessarily need these for my collection, but if you're a figure photographer or somebody like that, this is something that's warranted for you. But it is some blast effects here. You can kind of see orange translucent plastic, a little white down here, kind of supposed to demonstrate some smoke going on. Some may say the Stinger wants to smoke. I wouldn't, but some may say that. And you do get some effect pieces. So I guess you can have these off in the front. You can have a whole war going on. You can have some blast points going around all over the place if you want to. So we do get these. Then we do get these effect pieces. We've seen these before as well. You get a longer one and a shorter one. It depends how you like it. You like them long, you like them short. I don't know. I know my wife likes them long. That's what she says. But looking good right here. You plug this in the back right there. And you can have a little extra playability here. A little extra... I don't know, just a little extra pizzazz for this if you want to. Once again, for me, I just want the clean look. I don't need this kind of stuff. However, figure photographers, somebody setting up a big battle scene or something, I could see this something somebody would want. So little extra pieces there to go along with the driver. But the main event right here is actually the Stinger itself. Of course, very similar to the Vamp with a couple of twists, a couple of turns along the way. We're back in black like a young AC/DC here. We're black throughout with gray accents, looking extra dangerous is what this looks like compared to the army green one we got on the Vamp. The biggest difference between the two, if you ask me, is the missiles up top here. We didn't get that with the Vamp, of course. This is pretty cool. I always like this one. Going back as a kid, I did not have the Vamp. I did not have the Stinger. However, I had the Dreadnoks version that I believe was a JCPenney exclusive. I got that from my grandma for Christmas one year. It also came with the Dreadnoks version of the Ram Cycle. Getting the most out of your molds, painted a different color. It'll be very interesting if we could get those for the Dreadnoks in the future. I would not be shocked to see that happening. You get that green color Ram Cycle for the Dreadnoks. You get this repainted in that green color as well. Get the most out of your molds. I could definitely see it maybe as a store exclusive in the future. We'll have to see if that happens. That is the third and final repaint. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see what happens there. But this one is the most iconic one. I don't know. I guess I could walk that back. I guess you guys tell me. To me, when I think of this model, be it the Dreadnought version, the Vamp, or the Stinger, I think of this one. But maybe some people think of the Vamp. Maybe some people think of the Dreadnought one. But to me, this is the most iconic one of the bunch. I don't know if it's because of the red missiles on the top always made it stand out. I don't know, for whatever reason, this is what I think of. And I'm almost shocked this didn't come out first. But it is what it is. We're just glad we got both of them, I guess, at this point. But let's dive in here, and I guess we'll start off with the hood here. You have that little black piece, that little drum you put on the front here. It does say, beware of hot surfaces. To access turbo system under bolts, then remove, or turbo system, undo, not under, undo bolts, then remove cover plate. Please refer to owner's manual for maintenance of product. Is this the owner's manual right here? Is this what we got to look at? Is it like a straight up mechanic's job? We got this. Okay, where does that go? Maybe not. Maybe not. But nice little piece there. Nice little attention. Of course, in the old days, that would have been a sticker on there. Thankfully, we moved on from these stickers. We do get the shovel here. We saw that before with the Vamp. We can plug that right on the front, of course. You do get the working winch in the front, once again, a very cool one. Once again, I don't need that necessarily, but I can see some people wanting to dive into that one as well. You do get the tow hooks down here in the front, very cool. And you get the big tow hook in the back. Even got a little bit of turning on this one here. So always nice to have tow hooks on these things. We'll bring that up here in a little bit. On front of the winch right there, you do get a nice little guard. It's like some teeth, some daggers there. Pretty cool. Can you imagine driving on and you just pin right through Duke? Because Duke, he'd stand right in the way of this and just get ran over. He wouldn't be smart to jump out of the way. Duke would just get ran over. We know how that would go. Or Flint, he'd probably do like a flip of some kind. He'd probably see this thing coming. He'd time it just right. He'd do a big flip like this and then just land in the cockpit. And then he'd probably disarm and possibly kill the driver. Probably kick him out and then take control of the wheel. That's probably what would happen with Flint, where Duke would just get ran right over. I think we can all do that. Feel free to fact check that if you want to. But it does look very cool with this. Very dangerous. I would have loved this as a kid, just ramming people with this. But very nice on the front. Little headlight action coverage over there. Of course, tires, same thing we saw before. A little bit of bounce to them, a little bit of rubber, a little bit of suspension, a little bit of up and down you can move. At the end of the day, I don't get too worked up. I know some people want more complex steering components and stuff. I don't need that. It's sitting on a shelf for me. But once again, your mileage may vary on that one, of course. You got the blacked out windows here. Is there tint laws in the G.I. Joe landscape? Apparently not. Totally tinted out there. Love the Lamborghini doors on the side. They go up, of course, like a Lamborghini. But they look like something out of like a bank heist jail or like an armored car or something. You're all covered up over here. Very, very cool. Very nice to see that once again. But those do just fold up, just like I said, like a Lamborghini door. They go right up on top of you there. You get the cockpit, 2 seats in here. Love all the, I want to say stickers, but I guess it's already on there. It's painted on, whatever you want to call it. But you got all the gauges, all that kind of stuff. There's a little computer system in there. Just very, very cool inside there. And you get a steering wheel that really does work. It does turn. You do get the shifter also that does move back and forth. But looking nice. Could have used a little bit more color maybe in the center console, but that's being really nitpicky there. But very nice for what it is. You do get 2 mirrors there. Of course, the driver's got to see what's going on behind him. You got the 2 mirrors on the side ready to go. You got the 2 steps on the side here as well. It does say to unlatch, pull back on latch, and unhook and release. Beware, please ensure mechanics are not underneath vehicle before starting vehicle. So if somebody's working on it, you don't want to start it when somebody's under there. Makes sense, makes sense. But you do get a little bit of those things throughout. You see hot panel, you see BWXQ or O4. You see turbo in the back here, of course, Cobra insignias. You got all kinds of stuff going on. You got a spot in the back right here for, of course, somebody to sit or stand, I guess. You got 2 peg holes. Be a little bit of an interesting spot to stand, though. You're firing these things off. I can just see this thing just burning, melting somebody's face right off. But it is what it is. Cobra's a dangerous organization. They didn't get there to be as dangerous without taking some dangers on stuff like this. But we do have that going on. Underneath, all gray underneath. You got some writing under there, but nothing too really crazy to write home about. A lot of this we've seen really with the Vamp, as we do know. But very, very nice. And I do like the missiles up here, and I do like that they can move around. You can also just take this off if you want. If you want to leave it off for whatever reason, you can choose your own adventure. But this does go up and back. It's got all kinds of articulation on it, so you can move it back and forth. Do whatever you want to do. Once again, choose your own adventure, as we always do say here on the channel. You do get this top lid here. I had this off. It just connects over the top here. A little bit more armor, a little bit more protection. Just had that off so we could see inside of the cockpit on the vehicle, of course. But it does look very, very nice. Definitely a mean-looking vehicle here. You don't want to be on the business end of that one. And we do have, of course, the HMS. Is that what this thing was called? The HMS. And, of course, we talked about being able to tow this. A lot of people are going to use this to be the tow with this one instead of the HISS tank. Choose your own adventure. A lot of people didn't get the HISS tank. They got this. They can use it for the Stinger here. So you can choose your own adventure. Once again, it's the theme of this G.I. Joe Classified line. But a lot of people probably will be using this with the HMS, of course. Get all kinds of missiles going on. This is a bad day at the office if the Joe team sees this coming at them. There's a lot going on here, but you can very easily tow that right behind if you need to, if that is going to be your thing. You do got that. I know a lot of people picked that one up. I don't know, was it a year ago, 8 months ago? Once again, what is time? But I do got the old Vamp right here, ready to go. Of course, similar but different. A lot of similarities between these two, as you can imagine. They changed a few things, some different stickers, some different fronts. You get lights over here. You get big old teeth on the front of this one. Of course, you get a shovel on both of them. You get a light bar up at the top here. You got some grab handles. You got the big machine gun on the back. Definitely some differences, but at the core, same vehicle. But it is the way G.I. Joe brand has done this since the G.I. Joe inception back in, what, the 60s or something. You get the most out of your molds, like all the different toy lines out here. And you knew this one was coming the minute this one was announced. And like I said in this video, will the Dreadnought one be coming? Would not be shocked to see that in the future either. So looking very cool, looking very nice. I do prefer this over the Vamp. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just childhood nostalgia, whatever it could be. Both vehicles pretty good for what they are. I know some people want more out of these things, but these are kids' toys at the end of the day. These are for mainstream collectors and out there, so it's not like a high-end Mondo or something. We got to always kind of take that step back, as sometimes I think we get a little too worked up about some of this G.I. Joe stuff. It's like, hey, it's just a toy at the end of the day. It's fun for adults, it's fun for kids, but they don't want this to be a $400 vehicle. And I don't think anybody does. I mean, they'd love it, I'm sure. They would take the money, but it would just price them out. So it is what it is, but it is fun if you take that step back and you just enjoy it for what it is and realize, hey, they got to get the most out of their molds. But a fun one is the Stinger, and the Vamp's fun too. So there it is, the old Stinger G.I. Joe Classified series. Going over to the Cobra side here today. What are your guys' thoughts, though? Are you picking this one up? Did you pick up this last one? What are your thoughts here? Do you think we'll see the Dreadnought one in the future? That's an interesting one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this YouTube channel. With all the content it does bring, videos every single day. Plenty of stuff over there. Check it out. Support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media. Sir Paul64 on the X. _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So for the Cobra Stinger, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.